Morning. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to Project Cerys. Today we are going to start getting this finished. Today we're going to try and get this finished. We've got to do that new suspension leg. That will be coming in this video, will be on another day next week that I'll be doing it, possibly Monday or Tuesday. But it will be in this video, and hopefully that will make the car virtually done then. There are a couple of other bits and pieces that I need to do. The first thing I'm going to do, because this car here is sucking fumes, and this car, Project Cerys, has got a completely brimming full tank of petrol, I am taking some petrol out of this. Now before, let's get into the video and we'll explain what we've done before and what we're going to do now. Let's do it. Speedo has now arrived in the post, and it's a 2015, so it's not going to be a facelift one. That's the mileage on it, 39,000. So I've got to obviously put it in this one and adjust it. So what I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to put it in, connect it up, and then I'm going to leave it till tonight when it's dark and then test it and make sure that it's working, because I have in the past bought one of these and it hadn't been tested properly, and it was worse than the one that I'd taken out. So I just want to make sure that that is the case, that it is working as it should. So yeah, let's put it in. Right, I've literally just plugged it in and put it into position. As you can see, this one's got the black knobs, so I'm going to have to change them. Let's just close the door. I've put the cream ones on that I took off the other one. But I'm going to make sure it actually does work. In fact, I'm going to start the engine. Oh, music! Turn the music down. Parking help unavailable. Now that's okay. So you can see, oh, airbag failure. What? Why have we got an airbag failure coming up? What's all that about? We can see we've got parking sensors. So this actually is, this has come off of a 2015. But yeah, not a facelift, but a 2015 has got parking sensors, which this hasn't. So as you can see, the light is flashing. Now a proxy alignment should take care of that. So what I'm going to do, assuming that this all works fine, what I'm going to do is I am going to do a proxy alignment before I adjust the mileage, and then just to make sure everything's working as it should. Otherwise I won't be able to use it in this car and I'll have to get another one. It doesn't mean it's faulty, it just means that I won't be able to use this car, and the airbag light's gone off now. That must have been, you know where that's got that from? That's obviously been stored within this thing. So if I turn that back off and then back on again, I reckon that all won't come up now. So the car that this was in, yeah, it's gone off. Obviously had airbags blown, and it's just sort of stored it in there temporarily, and then when the speedo has realised it's in a different car, it's put it out and it's not coming up now, so that's good. So let's just start the engine. So we need to, obviously we can't have that up, we can't reset that because this car hasn't got parking sensors. But yeah, a proxy alignment should get rid of that, because the proxy alignment will tell it that, hang on a minute, this car hasn't got those, so we'll disable it. If that doesn't work, what we'll try and do is see if I can manually disable it within the settings. Once I'm happy that it's okay, then I can adjust the mileage to what it should be. But at the moment, so we'll put the lights on. Yeah, there's nothing I can see that's flashing that shouldn't be, but sometimes they're not really properly properly visible until night time. So I will come back tonight and check just to make sure, but all looking good so far. So yeah, I'm just going to go and park it up right in front of the house, and then we will come back tonight and double check. We're under the car now, so as you can see, hopefully up there, the filler pipe for the petrol tank has got a circlip round it, or not circlip, sorry, a Jubilee clip round it, and that pipe then just pulls off. and then you can stick a pipe in there with a bulb on the end, like I explained on a previous video, and suck the petrol out. Well, I thought what I'd do on this one is I'd try, especially as it's full, doing it the old-fashioned method. So I'm using the same little device, and as you can see where I've spilt some, it seems to be working. So if we pump the bulb, it's pumping it. Now I've got a feeling the only reason it didn't work before, it was because that pipe length was not quite long enough to reach the petrol. But obviously it is on this occasion. So I'm going to keep trying for as long as possible and get as much out as I can. Now it started to work, but unfortunately the pipe's not quite long enough. I've filled that up about halfway, and then it's slowed it down so much, so I can't. The pipe's not long enough. I was going to put that pipe on the end of it, but that pipe is too thick to go down the slot, down the tube, so I can't do that. So I'm going to have to revert to plan A, which is get it up on ramps, crawl underneath, and take that bracket off and take the pipe off. That's the only way I can do it, which is what I was going to do in the to begin with anyway, so not the end of the world. I was just going to get that petrol and put it in there, and then we start off with an empty tank. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, can't do it unfortunately without, see, when I did it before, I had already disconnected the fuel pipe here, because the release, it's one of those single-use Jubilee clip type things that Fiat use. And the bit that you have to release is round this side, and I can't get to it without being able to just twist the pipe round so it turns that thing round. I can't get to it, so that's off the table, I'm afraid, doing it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another one of those siphoning things, but get one with a longer pipe on it. Make sure it's the same thickness, because that just doesn't go down the hole. It's too thick to get down the hole, which is strange, because you know, you get a petrol pipe in there which is wider than that, and I don't really understand why it won't go down, but it won't. Let me show you. Actually, let me grab the keys, I'll show you. Right, let me show you. So the other pipe slips down cleanly. This one, you get it just past the flap, and it won't go any further. I don't know why. Because that is thinner than the end of a petrol, and it's a fuel hose as well, strangely enough. That is thinner than a fuel nozzle at a petrol station. So I don't really understand. There's something stopping it. It's physically, it's like there's another valve there that's stopping it, but the other one, the thin pipe, goes down it perfectly. That's really strange. I don't understand that at all. But it won't go, so I'm going to have a look on Amazon, see if I can get a thinner one, because it's a shame to waste all this petrol. And the same applies, obviously. You could say that, well, you know, you're going to spend, I don't know, 8, 10, 12, 15 quid or whatever on a siphon to get out 8, 10, 12, 15 quid of a petrol. But of course it's a lot more than that. It's got to be a full tank of this has got to be over 40 quid now, I would think. And of course it's not just for this car, it's for, you know, subsequent cars as well. So it's an investment to get one. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll come back to that when we get one through. I just need to measure the pipe. I think the pipe's under 1 metre long, so I need something that's going to go further into the tank, or a piece of pipe that I can connect to that, one or the other. So we'll leave that for the time being. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a proxy alignment on that cluster, the speedo, just to make sure it's going to turn off the TPMS lights and so on. I'll show you that again. I have already shown you it, but we'll just recap that, and then we'll give it a try. Right, okay, so as you know, we have the parking sensor light flashing there. We have parking help unavailable flashing up. All right, at the moment it says door open. There we go. Parking help unavailable. So that's sensors, possibly parking sensors, I think. Obviously the mileage is flashing because it's showing 39,000. So what I want to make sure, as I explained earlier, was that the a proxy alignment will switch off everything that's not needed. Before I start messing with the mileage, I need to make sure that all those things that aren't on this car get cancelled out, and it's going to work. Otherwise I'll have to get another one. But so we're going to try and do a proxy alignment now. I'm just booting up MES, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, it works. There you go. So no communication with the parking control module, and also convergence node. So this is connected to the Ujimawala, the cluster. So as far as this car is concerned, or as far as the speedo is concerned, I should say, this car has parking sensors and it has Blue and Me. This is a pop, it doesn't have Blue and Me either. So I don't know what the speedo's got to do with it, which is interesting. Yeah, don't know what the speedo's got to do with it. The only thing it does, of course, sometimes if your stereo can see your speedo can see your stereo and displays the station name. Whether that's something to do with it or not, maybe that's something in Blue and Me. I'm not sure about that actually. Never come across that before. But as you can see, both of those errors are present. Now, I shouldn't have to do any type of adjustment. All I should have to do. I'm not even sure I need to clear the errors. Let's try clearing the errors and see what it does. Not even sure I need to do that. In theory, yeah, they're coming straight back, so which they would do, because it's still missing as far as it's concerned. So all we should do is go to the body computer, do proxy. Actually, let's just, no, I don't even need to do that. Let's just connect. So hopefully, as I say, proxy alignment is all I need to put that light out. Connecting to ECU, okay. So radio removed, which of course it is. And the dashboard node failed because it's a different one. So all we should have to do, I shouldn't have to change anything on here. It should automatically do it. So let's see if it does. So as you can see at the moment, mileage is flashing. Those errors obviously come up, which they've gone now because the ignition's, been on a few minutes. But that sensor, the exclamation mark and the tyre pressure sensors is a light. So what we're hoping, if we do execute, it then hopefully will write to the body computer everything that should be on there, and all those lights should hopefully, and errors, go out. That's the plan, and they have gone out. Whether they're going to come back on again or not remains to be seen, but they have gone out. So fingers crossed that's done the trick. It should have done. Completed. Turn the key to off. Press Y to continue, and then we'll turn the key back on, and hopefully those errors have gone. Triangle's gone out. So far so good. No errors. So that has worked. Fantastic. So I now know. Let me just. I've got a tripod in the way. I now know. Remove that tripod. Close the door. I now know. See, the mileage has stopped flashing, but of course I need to adjust the mileage, which I'll do now. I need to look at my phone and see what the mileage was. Make sure I do it right. That's good. And then we can put all the thing back on, all the cowlings back on. Now, interesting point here. So a very interesting point here is that if this had come out of a facelift car, it's come out of a 15 plate, so it's a facelift as I call it. If it had come out of a 2016 car, facelift, a lot of the settings that you set on here, like your time, which you do using the buttons on the side of the speedo, on the facelift cars they're done on the stereo. You can't do that on here, so you wouldn't be able to set your. So if this it will work, everything would work, but you wouldn't be able to set your time because on a 2016 it's set by the stereo. And the same applies if you add an LCD screen, the coloured LCD screen rather than the orange one. The same applies. 2015 is fine. 2016 is fine to a degree. However, you won't be able to set things like your time. So your time will always be wrong because that's done from the stereo, and you do it from the stereo, but because it's from, because your stereo, you can't do it from the stereo on a pre-facelift car. You can't adjust the stereo, you can't adjust the date. I'm not sure if there's other things as well as the date. I think that's about it. I think it's only the date that doesn't work. And of course it's reading at the moment Wednesday the 8th of January. I don't know why 8. Oh, because the power's been on for 8 days, I suppose. It'll reset to the 1st of January, of course. and I don't know what year, 2001 or something it goes to. But yeah, that's worked, so that's fine. So all I need to do now, as I say, is I need to do a mileage adjustment. So I need to just look on my phone, see what the mileage is, and then adjust it. Good stuff. Right, so I've got the picture on my phone. As you can see, it had the cracked screen. The screen has now been replaced, and the mileage was 56,584. Now it doesn't do it exactly, so I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to do it, so you go into the speedo, and then you go into adjustments, and we want to do right odometer, and then we do execute, press Y, and we want to set it to 56,584. So 50, I'm going to do it slightly less. Let's do that, 56,539. So it's a few miles less, because I say it's, I think it's about 30 miles. It messes it up, so that might do it. So 56, press OK, you get a chance to check. 56,539, and it's 56,584. So it is a few miles less than it should be, but I don't want to make it go over. Actually, it won't go over, will it? No, I mean go over what the mileage was, and I can't remember if it does 30 less or 30 more or thereabouts. Right, 56,539, last chance, OK. Press Y to continue, can only be increased. 56,550, so it's done about 30 miles less than it actually was. It'll beep and beep and beep for a little while, then it'll be quiet. That's the seatbelt light that does that. And I don't think, I don't think you now have to do a proxy alignment. I think we can just switch it off and back on again. Don't think you need a proxy alignment after that, or do you? Actually, I think you do. Or that might be because I've already done the proxy alignment, the mileage isn't flashing. Yeah, mileage isn't flashing, that's fine. But that's done it. Fixed. Okay, so we can get it all back together now. Excellent stuff. Right, that's that. Right, that's all on. I wish I'd filmed that, you know, those cowlings, they went on within seconds. The holes were lined up straight away, first time on all four. Unbelievable. I've spent an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours trying to do that in the past. I've obviously sped up a lot since then, but it doesn't normally quite go as smoothly as that. That's really good. Yeah, right, so that's it. That's that done. Speedo sorted, another job done. Okay, so apart from the general tidy up of this and touching up the paintwork and what have you, and of course an MOT, which I have got booked for Monday, next Monday, so a week today. The only other thing I've got to do, hopefully, is to change this leg stroke shock absorber. Now I showed you the other one. I think I showed you the other one that I've got where I changed it. I'd want to double check to make sure that is actually the case, that I've shown you that. If not, I'll show you it again. In fact, let's show you it just briefly anyway. Right, so this is a new shock absorber with the old spring on. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure, in fact I'm pretty certain that spring's not in there right. It doesn't look as if it's seated in there right. So what I'm going to do is once I've got this one off, which will hopefully come off smoothly, I will use my compressors again and check it, make sure it's I'm doing it right, because this is wrong. So I'm going to have to compress the spring and move it. You can see it's over to one side. It's not sitting in there properly. I'm not even sure where it's supposed to sit, where it ends, where it starts and where it ends. So yeah, it's clearly wrong. So I can use that one to compare it, and then hopefully get it in the right place. Once I've got one to compare it with, I know what I'm doing. So the plan is to get that done today, and that will hopefully sort out that side, all this issues this side. There's not much of an issue this side after I've changed the bottom arm, but still not right. So I wasn't happy with it, so I've decided to change that anyway. Obviously I just need to make sure I get that spring sorted right. So yeah, that's the plan. And then the only other thing after that, if this all goes according to plan, is to get the tracking done, which I will probably take tomorrow to get done. This car is all taxed, insured, MOT'd. It's MOT'd till the 2nd of March, I think it is, next year. However, because it's less than 6 months on it, I am going to put a new MOT on it, as I say, which I've got booked for next week. So that's it. So let's get on with it. I'm going to stick you on time lapse to do this entire thing. I might come in and out now and again. It depends how that bolt comes out. Obviously, I'm going to take the scuttle panel off, take the windscreen wipers off to get to that bolt properly and easily. I'm going to try it with the impact wrench and see if I can get it off. If not, then I've got the spanner, the ring spanner, and oh, excuse me, I've got the ring spanner and the Allen key to do it properly. Oh dear, that was a big sneeze. Yeah, but we'll try it with a gun first, because sometimes they do come off with a gun, and that, if you remember, I showed you before, is not the original. It doesn't look rusty whatsoever, so I'm hoping it might come off without spinning. I've also, what I've got myself is a massive, great big spanner for that as well. I've ordered myself a spanner for that because I struggled with that using mole grips. I wasn't getting it off so much, it was getting it back on. But now I've got a proper spanner for that, ring spanner. Again, a recessed one. So yeah, all is good, hopefully. See you on the other side. As I say, I might pop in every now and again just to show you what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't have any trouble getting the bolts undone, etc, etc. So right, enough waffling. Let's get it up in the air, get the wheel off, and then we'll cut in on time lapse and we'll do it. Right, easiest, I mean, I've only done this once before, but I was going to say the easiest one ever, but this was really easy. Everything buzzed off perfectly. There was no messing about. That one came off straight away with the gun. I managed to get the drop link undone with the gun, and both of those bolts there came undone with the gun as well. Literally done it in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. It's a record for me, but then I've only done it once before. But yeah, no, easy job. What an easy job. Probably because it's not the original. So I've placed the old one, which is this one, which we suspect may be bent, next to the new one. Now, as you know, I had questions as to whether the spring was in the right place, and I can see from this that it is in the wrong place. So if we need to turn that round the same way. So we can see that the spring should end here on the edge, and it doesn't, it's over here. So it needs rotating. I don't know what difference it would make, but it's clearly in the wrong place. My other question was which way these were pointing. Now, I did think that it was probably that was pointing towards the back, but I didn't know where that was pointing. Now, I've been doing my research, and I have seen on eBay primarily, where people are selling these, that was facing outwards and not like that. There's no, I'm not sure, I don't know if those things fit into a gap. I know the shape of these do fit in to a particular cutout, and I'm not sure if that is just, if that fits into anything, or whether that is just, say, point towards the back of the car. Obviously on here it was pointing towards the front of the car, but you know, you can twist them, but it's not a problem. But I wanted to make sure I was doing it right. So yeah, as I say, I don't know whether that fits into a cutout. I know that does, but without touching that one, I'm going to compress the springs on this one, loosen the bolt off, and then move the spring so it's in exactly the same position as this. So this isn't a new spring, but this is a good spring, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this spring. So I will take this spring off and keep this, and then dump the rest, because we think that this is probably bent. It could have been that it's just been moved in its mount, and also of course we'll keep the top mounts because they're always good to keep. So that's good. So I just need to get the spring compressors out again, compress this, which I don't like doing, it's iffy. But I did it fine the last time. I didn't film it the last time, and I'm contemplating filming it this time. Don't know, I might do it on time lapse because it takes. I do it gradually. It's going to take too long if I do it on real time. I don't know if you've noticed, I have been doing more stuff on real time recently, but the trouble is, it either means the videos are too long or I can't get enough in each video. So I'm trying to strike a happy medium between doing it in real time. And I know there are certain things that you want to see in real time, and I imagine this is probably one of them, doing these. But maybe I'll do another video. I mean, you know, I'm no expert at this, so you know, I've learned how to do it. I wouldn't want to do a how-to video and end up with a spring looking like that. So yeah, it's good that I've got this for reference. Anyway, I'll set you up the time lapse. We'll get the spring compressors on, and we'll get this one off and adjusted so it's in the same position as that one, and then we can offer it up and get it on. Sorted. So it was a bit of a job, but I don't know if it's these. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you can tell me, and I know obviously some of you will know. So I've got these things. Are they meant to go up that way? That way with the nut at the top that you tighten, or the other way? Because as you saw me probably with the spanner, they meant to go that way. Because I couldn't get it. I don't know if it's because it may have been because the spring wasn't centered properly, but when I put it on that way, see, when I put it on now, it's not doing it, but when I put it on that way, it's a bit difficult to get it on properly. The bottom of it was hitting that, and if I turned it around that way, I couldn't get the spanner on it properly. One of them was all right, the other one wasn't. So yeah, I'm not really sure which way. I'm going to have to investigate that more. But it worked. I didn't have to undo the nut. I just had to compress the spring and then turn it around a little bit. So that wasn't an issue. I just made sure the nut was tight. I had done it up tight before, but I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so that I think that's it now then. So it's just a matter of putting this one on. I'm going to strip this off, obviously, because it's good to keep these bits. We need to. That should be up there, obviously. I want to have a look to see if we can actually, once I get that off, I want to actually see if we can see a bend in that. I reckon it is, you know, I reckon it is bent. But, you know, this hasn't really been that much effort to do this. So it's definitely a job worth doing. Even if to a degree, you know, if you've had a knock on that side, I've seen so many people that have done these cars and other cars, and they've changed the bottom. So, and I've done the same. Change the bottom arm, yeah, that's it, it's done, sorted. But is it? And if you remember, I had a dirty mark on there, on the shock, where the tyre had quite clearly boshed, hit it. Now, was it just a glancing blow? So it wasn't a dirty mark, it was a clean mark where the wheel had been going round and it had obviously rubbed against it. Probably momentarily, you know, the split second of the impact, but probably enough to bend it. We don't know. It may have just dislodged it out of its little cutout here. And we'll get the camera up here in a minute actually and show you the cutout, because a lot of you have probably never seen this cutout, the shape that top mount fits into. Before we put it back, I'm going to give that a clean up as well. But that is quite a eye-opener. I've learned something today. It's always good when you learn something. These really scared me before. They don't now, but I think I could probably do with a better set of removers. I was tempted, I mean, how often do I do this? Not that often. I was tempted to get myself a proper stand, which, you know, you put in the stand, compress it with a foot plate or whatever it is, and then buzz the nut off. That's obviously the quick way of doing it, but that's for garages. People are doing it all the time. I don't think it's really worth me getting one for occasional use like this. It's a bit time consuming, but I think it's all right using those spring compressors. But I know someone did said there's better ones with some retaining clips on. I think that would probably be better. But it's worked anyway. So that's good. I'm pleased about that. Right, let's set you up again on time lapse and we'll get the damn thing back on. Right, I am going to get the camera up there and show you the cutout. There you go. That's the cutout where it sits. So I don't actually see a shape for that bit, unless I'm not actually seeing the whole thing. Hang on. Oh, too old for this. Yeah, there isn't actually a cutout for that little pointy bit, or for the metal pointy bit either. Yeah, but that's where the top mount sits within that. Interesting, isn't it? Right. Oh, I'm getting too old for kneeling around on the floor as well. Becomes more of an effort all the time. Right. Okay. Let's set it up in time lapse and we'll get this new one in. That's all on. We broke one of the tabs when we took that off. Luckily I had some new ones of those, so I took the little bit of broken bit out, and I will fix it with super glue because they're absolutely fine once they're fixed. But just to get one on, I've done that. I tested the wipers, make sure they're in the right position. And the most important thing, you may have seen me faffing around with a torch underneath this scuttle panel, both sides. The reason for that, if you don't know, you will come a cropper and you will crack your windscreen. It may not be immediately obvious, but within a week or two of you doing it, your windscreen will break and it will start to crack. So you've got the white clips, 3 white clips on the underside of there that need to go under the metal. If you get them between the glass and the metal rather than under the metal, and then you know when you've done that because you don't get a flush finish. It's not flush on the windscreen, and by bashing it down to try and get it in position, that's when you start to crack the windscreen, and there's nothing you can do about it. Once it's broken, it's a new windscreen. Right, that's all done. All done. So I think what we've got to do now, apart from a clean up on the outside, touch up the bits of paint, just generally give it another clean and a hoover inside, put some new mats in. Obviously the seats are all clean and everything, it just needs a good clean. We'll get some fallout remover on it, get some protection on the paint, black up the wheels, or tyres rather. We'll do that tomorrow with the tyres, and then what we'll do, tomorrow I'm going to take it, I've got to change the number plate. Can't remember if I changed the front one, don't think I have. I need to change those. Or did I? Can't remember. Yes, no, I did change the front one. Yeah, it's got the new one on, so I need to change the new back, put the new back one on. MOTs, as I say, booked for Monday. Wiper blades could do with a clean. They're all right, but just need a bit of a clean. And then I think we're done. Be ready for the MOT. I'll do all my checks, go over it, just make sure everything's working as it should. All the lights are working and everything. We should be good to go then after that. Hopefully it will pass the MOT once the tracking is done. Sorry about that, my wife was just asking me if I'd like a mozzarella stick. And I was getting a bit hungry, so I'm going to go and have some lunch. So yeah, unfortunately my neighbour's whacked his van there, so it's going to be a bit difficult to move the car backwards a little bit. I'll try and get it in the middle a bit more. We'll get it cleaned this afternoon, get those bits of paint touched up, and as I say, we'll take it down to get the tracking done tomorrow, and then it should be done, should be finished. I've got to take some photographs of it today and send it to the prospective buyer, or one of the many prospective buyers, but this person, her daughter's, she's either just about hit 17 or she's just hit 17 or about to hit 17. She's been saving up for years, apparently, to buy a Fiat 500. I've told her this one, initially I told her this one would be under £3,000. She asked me today and I've said 2,750, and I might actually let her have it cheaper. I might do, I don't know, because it is only a pop. It's only a Cat N, but it is only a pop. It's had the cam belt done, and it's also got the funky stereo in, but it is a pop. So I might let her have it a bit cheaper. We'll see. We'll see. I know you'll all be shouting at me saying, no, it's a bargain at 2,750, which it is. There wasn't much damage to it, was there? Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Let's go and have some lunch. See you in a minute. Right, there you go. All nice and clean. So I started off with the pink snow foam. I then used the Maguire's hydroscopic cleaner. I then finished it off with the Built Hammer crystalline treatment, which gives us a lovely beading. And it is absolutely sparkling. Absolutely sparkling. I have remembered something else that I've got to do though. Unfortunately, I'd forgotten about this. I'm done with the keys. Let me see if I can replicate it now. I should be able to. Let me just get in. I'd completely forgotten all about this. I've still got to clean it properly on the inside, give it another hoover and give it a wipe over. It's not too bad actually. I think I've already done it. It's just got a little bit more. Let me just wait until the plane goes over, and then we'll come back and listen for the noise. Right, so the noise, I don't know if my microphone, which is obviously attached to my body, is going to pick this up, but let's try. I'm sure you can hear that. Squeaky clutch, squeaky clutch even. So that's going to be, hopefully, that's going to be the slave cylinder. And the thing that comes in and out that pushes the gearbox, or pushes the clutch I should say, it should be that. Squeaking quite badly. It's actually a different squeak now. I don't know if it's because it's had water over it where I've washed the car, but it's normally worse than that. But yeah, that's what I've got to do. So I am going to set you up, and I am actually going to do a video for this, because I see, let me get out, I see lots of people asking on Facebook and various other places about squeaky clutch, and people often try and explain. I'm not sure if there are any videos out there on YouTube. Oh, what's that on there, little red blob? Where did that come from? It's probably dripped off the wipers. Let's put those down. What was I saying? Yeah, not sure if there are any videos out there on it, so I thought I would do a video on greasing that up, and it will hopefully do the job. So I'm gonna do it on time lapse, but I'm also going to do it in real time for a separate video. So if you actually want to see it in real time, then click on the link above, which may not be there when you're watching this because it may come after this video. So if the link is above, if the video is done, the link will be above. If it's not, then you'll have to wait until it is. If that makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to set you up, as I say, and let's do it. Let's get this done, and hopefully that will get rid of the noise. And then all we got to do on this car is change the back number plate. In fact, I think I'll probably do that first and get the tracking done, and of course the MOT on Monday. Let's do it. Right, there you go. I haven't done the squeaky clutch yet because it's starting to, I'm starting to lose the light now. So I'll come out and do it tomorrow. I've got a week to do this, so no rush. I will get it finished tomorrow, and then it's just the MOT left to do then. Yeah, good day. Not massive done, but I got done what needed to be done. As you can see, I've stuck the old, I was going to put stripes on, someone did suggest that, but I decided on this one just to put the little badges on. I think they look effective anyway. All the bits of paint are touched up, very little needed touching up. There was a couple of little bits down the edge of the door that needed touching up, but very little actually. A couple of little bits on the front of the bumper, side of the bumper. Nothing at the back at all. Couple of little bits, little bits down here on the edge, on the very leading edge of the door. Nothing of any significance. Couple of little bits on the edge of the bumper here. That's it. So that's it, yeah. So that's it done. So as I say, all we got left to do, which I'm going to do tomorrow, which will hopefully be part of this video. I think it will, because I'm going to do it on time lapse, so it won't take very long on time lapse. And then we'll finish the video off once we've done that. And obviously, then all you're going to need to know is when it's sold, and I'll probably do that on a separate video. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Right guys, welcome back. It's the next day. It's been absolutely tipping it down with rain this morning, and we've actually got a bit of blue sky and, well, clouds, but a bit of sun. There's your weather forecast for the day. If you remember, I said about the clutch, squeaky clutch. I'm doing that, but I'm also taking the opportunity while I've got it off. I'm changing the earth cable as well, the earth strap. I'm actually doing 2 videos as we speak, or 3 including this one. I'm doing 2 how-to videos, one for doing the earth strap and another for doing the clutch master cylinder, lubing it up. So, oh, just got water drip down my back of my neck. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah, so I'm not going to do it in any detail whatsoever on this video, and also this video is getting quite long now as well, so I didn't really want to make it too long. So we'll come back once we've done it, and hopefully it would have done the trick. But you'll be seeing this video on Sunday now, because one of these videos will be for Wednesday. So I will put the links, I think I've mentioned earlier on yesterday, and I'll put the links for these videos. As I say, at least one of these videos, I'm not sure which one, probably the earth strap will be coming first. And then once I have released the other one, then we'll link to it in this video. But yeah, that's it for the time being. Just wanted to explain what I was doing quickly, and we'll be back once it's done, and hopefully that will be a non-squeaky clutch after that. Okay, so I think the clutch seems to be okay. It's not squeaking. Hopefully it won't come back. We'll drive it around a bit and we'll see what happens. But I think that's all we got to do. What else have I got to do? Apart from the checks for the MOT, which I'll probably do in the next day or so. I've got another 6 days before my MOT. It's Tuesday today, and the MOT is not until Monday, as you know. So there's not really anything else I can do on the car. So I think we'll call it a day for this video. There may be one more video, possibly. Probably not. I'll probably just let you know in another video that the car's sold. There is already an interested party. In fact, I've sent them all the photographs I took yesterday, and they've said we want it. And I've obviously told them if you want to come and test drive it, you can. Obviously it's going in for its new MOT on Monday. Whether they'll come before then or not, I don't know. But that's it for this project, probably. So that's the end of Project Cerys. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been emotional, as always. So as I always say and bore you with, if you're not a subscriber, if you are just a casual viewer, please hit that button up there, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, etc, etc, etc. Thanks for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.